So I'm Julia, I'm 49, I'm Julia Sullivan. I live in Amsterdam. I'm a coach and trainer in personal development. And I met Chin Ha last December in a training for trainers in Thailand, during which I basically realized that my styling and grooming sucked. It was doing me absolutely no justice whatsoever. And I finally saw that there. I approached Chin Ha and I asked her, would you work with me? So we started at the beginning of January, and we've had 5 or maybe 6 whole mornings by Skype, during which she's basically taken me through the whole language of styling and clothing. She's never told me once, this is what you should be wearing. But for example, one week we went into colours, how colours work, what works, how combinations of colours work. Another week we went into shapes, body shapes, clothing shapes, and how the whole thing works. The yin yang, the combination of the masculine and the feminine, and how to work with that in your clothing. How formal and informal works, how certain details in your clothing will actually make it a formal piece of clothing, and that may have been something I've been wearing in a very informal way. So I started to realize why certain combinations I was wearing just simply weren't working. I started to understand how to get things to work, and I started to find it fun. Because, to be honest, up until now, up until beginning of January, I'd simply been focusing on, very absorbed by, fascinated by the content of what I was doing, working with people, and I hadn't paid any attention to what I was wearing and what people might be thinking about what I was wearing. So in retrospect, it's quite amazing anyone wanted to work with me at all, because my clothing was not doing me any justice whatsoever. It was a real pleasure to work with Chin Ha. She made me feel very, very comfortable. Even when we were looking back on it, some of the combinations I was wearing were very interesting. She made it very easy. She's very personable, she's fun, she's warm, very patient in explaining things, really making sure I understand the whole thing. And it's just been a joy to work with her. I can truly say that at the end of this process, I'm really thinking in a different way about myself. I'm feeling in a different way, because finally the outside is portraying how I'm thinking and feeling on the inside, which makes a huge difference. And I see it reflected back in the way people react. So thank you, Chin Ha. It was a really, really great pleasure. I'm very sad this is almost coming to an end, and I really hope we'll work together in the future again.